Here we go.
Were you having performance anxiety there, Sarah?
Yes. I thought it was a bit much. But here we go. 2025-2026 Champions League is underway. And can Arsenal do it again? Is the question.
And they lost, but they can still do it. That's the good part about this. They lost, but they can still do it. How's it going, everyone? Yes, I was coaching Sara on that intro. A for effort.
It was kind of hard for me.
We had like 5 cringy ones as a backup, but
yeah, we just went with the least cringiest, but still cringy.
Yeah. How's it going, everyone? Big Arsenal loss today. When I mean big, when I say big, I don't mean they lost by a lot, but starting your Champions League campaign out with a loss, never fun, never exciting. They definitely can still win, move on, and all that. But we're going to kind of talk about that. Just a quick video today because exciting day. First and foremost, I feel like Champions League this year is even like they're doing like a pre-show on Paramount Plus. Jenna Nighswonger, Kelley O'Hara, Darien Jenkins. They did a really fun pregame for the Champions League, and I thought that was really fun because I know DAZN generally had it in the years previous, which was really nice because it was on YouTube and really accessible for a lot of people. But Arsenal did not start their campaign off well. Arsenal, they had a big loss. It was a big game. Champions League actually changed the format this year. For the women, they did what they called, instead of group stages, they do what it's called a league stage, and there's pots. I think it's 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's ABC, but I think it's pot 1, 2, 3. So each team plays 2 games from each pot. Those teams who perform the best go to the knockout rounds. But what that kind of means now for the beginning of Champions League is A, there's 18 teams, which is exciting. It's kind of like the men's, but B, these exciting matches are at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the Champions League, which is nice because generally you don't get these really fun games until kind of toward the end of the Champions League. So I really like it now. They're saying this format's a bit more fair. And also, I like seeing these exciting matches out the gate.
Yeah, really gets you pumped up for it.
Yeah, definitely. So I think I am enjoying this new format. But going into this game, obviously, I think it's a quick turnaround from Saturday to Tuesday. Yes, it was at home, but that's a quick turnaround, from Saturday to Tuesday. And that meant there was going to be expected change in the lineup, expected rotation, because that's always a big factor. Because I always say this, WSL is such a competitive and strong league. That game on Saturday was so important. Say Barcelona played today. They played Bayern Munich. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but they played, their league is not as competitive. So they can play their B team on the last game they played, still win, and go on and beat Bayern Munich. But the WSL is such a competitive league. Arsenal had a huge game on Saturday. 4 to 5 days later, they have a huge game on Tuesday. So it is hard.
It's the hardest it's ever been to be a soccer player.
Yeah.
Just because it's so competitive.
Exactly. We knew that there was going to be a rotation. 5 changes in the lineup, and one of the big stories we talked about last video was Lotte Moy starting over Katie Reid, who had been so good. So I think that a lot of people thought 2 things. Either that meant she was going to start again because she's kind of warmed up, or they were going to put Reid back in because Reid had been so good so far in the season. But they did the second. Renée put in Reid as a starter. So I think a lot of people were excited to see that, although I think Reid had some tough moments tonight. But it was good to see her. I saw a comment. I guess we'll read the comment, but the comment was like, Renée got it wrong. It should have been Lotte Moy in this game. It's so important, which we talked about last game was like, where's Reid? Where's Reid? So we kind of just talk about those kind of, there's always those, you just guessed wrong, but I did think it was funny. We might read that comment later. But also, Beth Mead got a start. Chloe Kelley got a start. But that means Caitlin Foord can come in and be an impact player. That means Olivia Smith can come back in and be an impact player later in the game. So I understood what Renée was doing.
Yeah, with the game so close, you really have to make a plan, and it sounds like she had a plan.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And she had a plan. Did it work out the best? Well, they lost. But, Lyon looked hungry. Also, announcement, should I have my breaking news? Jenna Nighswonger was on the bench.
Oh.
On the bench. Jenna was on the bench. So that was exciting.
Good. They heard the fans.
Yeah.
And it also was a very American game. Sorry. No. A lot of Americans playing, against each other. Oxy, Heaps, Lily Johannes, Jenna, just everybody. And other names.
I think I see what you're doing there. So yeah, very American, because Emma Hayes was there. I don't even think you saw that Emma Hayes was there. But Arsenal started out great. The first 10 minutes I really thought was I thought this was a good omen, because Arsenal started out strong. They started out hungry. They were at home. The fans were loud. 4 minutes in, looking good for Arsenal. Actually, Catley went down really early, but she seemed to be okay. But look at 4 minutes in, Beth Mead juking out, 5 defenders here, kind of just going around and around everyone, around Lindsay Heaps. Juking out, then passed it over to Leah Russo, and they got on the board for first in the 6th minute. They scored. I thought, oh my God, they're at home. They're going to smash this. They looked really good. Yeah, I thought it looked great. Beth Mead, she got a start. She looked great today, but unfortunately, that was the only goal for Arsenal. And then this is what's so tough is Arsenal's playing well, and then DVD, Danielle van Domselaar, kind of has a moment here, because she goes and passes it back. She passes it to Dumornay, and then she scores. She doesn't let DVD get away with that. So that's, that goal was so avoidable, and I think in a lot of Arsenal's heads that it's especially such a hard game. She did a first save, which looked great, and then it went right. They made Arsenal pay.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough watch.
Yeah. That was in the 17th minute. But after that, Lyon was, I don't know, hungry is like an overused word, but they just looked really hungry. They looked like they wanted to win more. I don't even know. They have such a strong team. It's Lyon. How many times have they won Champions League? And they weren't happy with not making it to the finals last year. But because in the 22nd minute, Dumornay scored again. Some people are saying this again was a blunder from Arsenal. If you look right here, Mariona kind of lets Lindsay Heaps kind of in a way take that away. I don't know if it was a concentration thing. Yes, Lindsay was pressing really well, but she got it away. Then Katie Reid tried to clear it, but that was a bad clearance, or tried to pass it, bad pass. Then Dumornay made them pay. And people are saying, if Leah Williamson was on the pitch, that probably wouldn't happen. Katie Reid, that was kind of a blunder. But that goes back to what we're talking about. Katie Reid's a 17-year-old who's going to make mistakes. And people are saying Mariona and Katie Reid two blunders in a way.
Just unfortunate.
Yes, the defense kind of let them down. Now, those were the only goals. All the goals happened within the first 23 minutes. That was the final score. Second half, Arsenal had a few chances. And remember when DVD made that little blunder for the first goal? But right before half, it should have been I think it should have been 3-1, because this double save that DVD made, I'm not quite sure how she made this. I was sure they were going to score. So I don't want to say she made up for it, but even though she had a blunder, she did have some really strong saves because Lyon weren't letting up. Dumornay really wanted that hat trick. There was a couple shots. And also Katie McCabe, Caitlin Foord came in, Cara Cooney-Cross came in, I think the 76th minute. Olivia Smith came in. As soon as Olivia Smith came in, and she was giving some problems to Lyon, but they just could not score. Actually, in the 90th plus 4th minute, Caitlin Foord came really close to scoring, but it was not meant to be. Actually, do you know what minute Katie McCabe came into the game?
No.
She came in the 87th minute or 89th minute. Katie McCabe.
Whoa, that's wild.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a sentence almost. Yeah. But I don't know if it was a little too late or, and that's hard. This is at home. Arsenal. Hey everyone, it's about a day later from when we recorded the first part of the video, and we usually just do comments now about the Arsenal game, but something very interesting happened today in today's Champions League games. In particular, Chelsea did not win their opening game, and they drew. And a lot of people were surprised by this. I didn't even know if we were going to talk about it because I figured, oh, they're going to win this game. It's going to be maybe a blowout. They're going to win.
That's how it happened.
Yeah, it was really interesting. They played Twente. Me and Sara were practicing that for 7 years. I still don't think that's right. Twente, the Dutch club. And we figured, I believe this is pot 3. Chelsea's playing their pot 3 game. So this is should be an easy win. And nothing's an easy win, as everyone knows. But okay, they'll win. And they didn't. 7 changes from their game last Friday. And goalkeeper change, Hannah Hampton out, and the backup in. And so a lot of people were saying, even with their maybe B team, there's no B team on Chelsea, but they're still going to win. They're going to win big. No, that's not what happened. Twente actually got on the board first. They had the first goal. A beautiful goal. It was not a cheap goal. It was a beautiful goal. And then Chelsea only scored a PK. And it was a questionable PK at that. So I think a lot of people were surprised, even though in this game, Chelsea played actually pretty well. They just couldn't finish it up,
We were surprised.
Yeah, I was very surprised. So much quality, and they played so well. They had most of the build-up. They had most of the possession. They had most of the chances, but they just couldn't win this game. So that was very surprising. What did everyone think? We're going to read a couple comments at the end. You think this team, they would get the win, but I'm excited for Twente. Jill roared. I saw her face and I said, oh my God, I forgot she plays there now. So very excited for them. Good to see Manchester United won today. They are pot 3, but I don't know that Valeraga. I don't know what pot they're in, but excited to see them win. They could be a dark horse. That actually reminds me, going back to Chelsea, a lot of people have Chelsea to win the whole thing. They're like, Chelsea's going to win. They're hungry. They loaded up over the off season. They are ready to win Champions League.
They were hungry today. No.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying even Kelley O'Hara, she said Chelsea's her pick to win the whole thing. So for them not to beat this team was very surprising. Although Chelsea did not win, they drew. Somebody having a worse day than Chelsea was Bayern Munich.
Oh no.
They were what's a good word? Dismantled by Barcelona. It was pretty bad. And a lot of people were saying Bayern Munich. People are saying Bayern Munich's maybe a dark horse. They have such a quality squad. Yeah, they were 7-1, and it didn't look good. Now, Barcelona, I think, is pissed off. I think they're mad about last year. I think they're mad about everything, but they just played so well. So Bayern Munich's having a worse time than Chelsea right now. But that's what a couple other games I'll put the scores on the board, but exciting first games. This new format's really fun, and also the Bayern Munich and Barcelona. That's the pot 1. You face pot 1s against each other. It's kind of confusing, maybe to us because it's new, but the fact that Chelsea lost to their pot 3, I think that's interesting. Okay. And actually, I don't even know where that leads everyone to begin with. I just know that if you're pot 1, you should probably always beat the pot 3s. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just going to read a couple comments I saw because obviously about Arsenal. Arsenal, no order of these comments, but let's see the first one I screenshotted. Oh, okay. So people are saying, Renée and the Arsenal squad have had a pretty disappointing last few weeks. They haven't had a win in 4 games. Pretty disappointing. People said, people are saying, is it time for Renée to go? I'll read this. People are saying, is this mirroring what happened to Jonas last year?
She just got here. Last year, I said we'll eventually get the same thing we had with Jonas with Renée, and she'll repeat what happened the last time she took over for him. Here you go, carbon copy.
Yeah, so people are just saying the same. We've seen this already. And a couple other comments about, is it time for Renée to go? I don't think so. I think she's just having the whole team's having a bad spell. And then people are saying the problem is the center back position now that Leah is injured, and that is the position that's really leaking goals.
We need to buy a center back for cover because we are missing Leah Williamson big time. Also, I think we look tired after 60 minutes in every game so far. But we can't blame the manager. It's not her fault we are letting in silly goals. but you can on her subs and her team, but you can't sack Renée. She's got us a Champions League.
Yeah, I think it's too early to sack her, but I saw a lot of people in the comments. And then some people here, I'm not going to read this whole comment, but I love how some people are quick to blame Renée. Yes, we've had a few bad games, but we've had bad games under Jonas during his time as coach for years, and everyone wanted him out. So this person, I think, is just saying it's too early to sack them, and also Leah is really badly being missed right now. Oh, and I saw a couple people that says missing Leah and need a new keeper. And I said in the first part of the video, DVD kind of made up for her blunder. I still believe that, but I saw a lot of people saying, oh, it's DVD's fault. But I do think her blunder caused the first goal, but she made some really quality saves, and I saw a lot of people kind of blaming her. And then other people said, she's definitely the best goalie out of the three they have, so we got to keep with her too. And then someone says, their luck has run out. Last season was some pure magic. And that made them beat both Lyon and Barca. Yeah, I saw that a few times. That is luck. But I don't know. You make your own luck. You know what I mean? Might sound too harsh, but honestly, Renée needs to drop DVD for some games. And hey, maybe rotation would be okay. But if you look at Chelsea, that they rotated the Chelsea goalie, and some people are not happy with that. Now, some people might say DVD is not on the level of Hannah Hampton, but I saw this.
Sonia made a big mistake by putting Livia in starting 11. How can Livia, who hasn't even played in the WSL league matches, be in goalkeeper in such a big and important match?
Yeah, and then the comment underneath that comment basically said, yeah, there's nothing you could have done about the goal, and that was the least of their problems today. Even though most people said they actually played pretty well, there was nothing Livia could have done about that goal. Livia was definitely one of the least mistakes in the lineup. Hannah would not have saved that goal. Yeah, it was a beautiful goal. And then someone goes, the kind of performance that won't even get us out of the league stage. Maybe, maybe not, but bro, we can't play Barca like this. They'll be embarrassed.
I like that.
And then I saw a lot of this. Chelsea played good football. I saw a lot of this, and from the analysis I watched on like the show after with Kelley and stuff, they kind of mirrored what this person's saying.
Chelsea, they played good football. Their final pass let them down, and the cross let them down, as well as Beaver Jones. She was not great last night. She's good. Bring players into play.
Yeah, so maybe different, the subs weren't working out. I like this comment. This is about the Arsenal game. Serious question. Are we able to win a game at this moment? Because people are worried, And then here's another one about Leah. Leah's absence in the defense is very noticeable, and we were very lucky they didn't score more than 2 goals. Talking about the Arsenal game. Yeah, I think I saw a lot of people say that. And then someone says, without Leah, our defense falls apart. Not seeing a single leader out there. And then I saw a couple other about the defense. And then someone goes, defense is not promising face. Worried face. What is everyone think? Questions, comments down below. Is this how you thought the Champions League was going to open up? I think the biggest surprise, to be honest, is the Chelsea game. Barcelona killing Bayern like that. I feel bad for Bayern, but maybe that will pump them up. I don't know. A couple other games. Wolfsburg played today. I literally have no idea who won that game, Wolfsburg versus PSG. I'm going to rewatch it on Paramount Plus, but I will watch that. But I don't know. Crazy. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.